If you're a Hoops fan, you were glued to the TV last night. Hi there, everybody. Welcome into Undisputed. I'm Jen Hale. That is Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys. How we doing?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Better than somebody else I know. Thought you was going to come in here and gloat. What happened to the king? Where's the crown? On his head.
Really?
On his head.
I gotta get a new TV.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I do, because it appeared to be on my TV that the Lakers won in spite of the king.
You got to know why you got to do the TV? Because you broke it. Because you thought the Lakers was going to lose and you going to come in here and gloat.
I did not. I told you yesterday this game should be over by halftime.
No.
It took 5 extra minutes. It was purple and fool's gold last night.
Did the job get done?
It got done.
Okay.
I'll give you that, but that's all I'm going to give you.
Have you ever worked a regular job? You ever heard of overtime?
Have I ever worked?
You get
You're
overtime
asking
pay.
me?
Yeah, exactly.
I worked my little tail off through high school.
Okay, so you
grade school.
So you know what overtime is.
I know what overtime is.
Okay.
I know.
Okay,
I've sweated in hot box warehouses all summer long.
Yeah, see, so you know what overtime is.
Lakers fans. Lakers fans know what OT is too, guys. Woo! That one last night, it came down to the wire. Shannon, your team rallied back from 15 points down. They forced OT against the T-Wolves. Lakers initially taking a 3-point lead with just over a second left on a LeBron-assisted Dennis Schroeder 3. Next possession, AD fouls Mike Conley. Wrong guy, right? He'd go on to make all 3 attempts to force overtime. LeBron and the Lakers, though, win it 108-102 in OT. Shannon, were you encouraged or discouraged by what you saw last night?
I mean, I'm what I was. I mean, Skip tried to get me to get excited about Darvin Ham, and you're saying the sky's the limit, but this is what they are. Skip told me that the T-Wolves was better without Rudy Gobert in 12 games. They were 8-4 without Rudy.
True.
They have the #1 overall draft pick in Karl Anthony Towns. They have the #1 overall draft pick in Anthony Edwards. They have the 4th overall draft pick with Mike Conley. So it's not like they're devoid of really good players.
Agreed.
Ant-Man is an all-star. Mike Conley's been an all-star. Cat is an all-star.
Yeah.
Both guys have been. Cat has been, if I'm not mistaken, was offensive rookie of the year. Was a rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it goes without saying they have good players. And when you shoot the ball as well as they shot it, they shot 65% from the 2 in the first quarter. They shot 56% from the 3. They shot 59% from the 2 in the first half, 56% from the 3. Skip, you're going to give yourself a great chance to win a ball game if you keep shooting like that. Some of it was they were making shots, shot clock going down, Conley letting threes go, and then some of them was uncontested, trying to keep dribble penetration, trying to deal with Cat. Cat started out on fire. I mean, you can't do anything like that. The guy's shooting 15-footers, 1-foot step backs.
Yep.
Anthony Davis is one of the premier defenders in all of basketball, and Cat gave him all he could handle the first half of the ball game. What really helped was that they got in foul trouble. So, no, I'm not discouraged. I'm not encouraged. LeBron James, the oldest player on the court by at least 3 years over Mike Conley, he was gassed. He played 45 minutes in his ninth game back. And I knew they were going to be in trouble, Skip. I knew LeBron was going to have to play a lot more minutes than he ever wanted to or they wanted to play, considering he was at 20 minutes at the half. They try to keep him 16 or under. So that way they play him like 8-9 minutes. That gives him about 25 minutes. And so now we can keep him 35 and under. He get to 20 minutes at the half, he's going to be somewhere around 40.
Yep.
And he was for the ball game. That's if the ball game ends, Skip. He's at 40 minutes. With the extra 5 minutes, he's at 45. So this is what I expected. The Lakers dominated the paint, 54-46. And guess what? Free throws. They needed those free throws last night. Now, you shoot 60% of your free throws last night, you're going to lose that game, and you're going to look back.
Yep.
Turnover, they turned the ball over late. Skip, LeBron, we're going to talk about LeBron a little later, and what do we make of his performance. But the Lakers, they're in the play-in. I mean, so it's not like they're the #1 seed. They're in the play-in for a reason. They've been inconsistent. They were inconsistent last night, but they found a way to scratch and claw and win a ball game. So I'm what I was going into the ball game. I give them a 15% chance of advancing and making some noise. But no, I'm not discouraged. I'm what I am.
You're just what you are.
Just what I am, Skip.
Okay, I do remain slightly encouraged because your team, as I pointed out and correctly predicted on schedule when it happened, took off at the trade deadline thanks to Rob Pelinka, the Executive of the Year in the National Basketball Association. They have had the best record since the trade deadline in the NBA. They have had a top 3 defense since the trade deadline in the NBA. Okay, before I launch on then what I saw last night, I will say this, biggest picture, what I am learning slowly but surely about the play-in format, it does favor the 8 seed or the other seed, because what happens is you get the 8 seed coming in to play the 7 seed at its place, and for the 8 seed, it's do or die.
Right.
Right? Okay? Although you get to fall back. But what I'm saying is they're a little more desperate. And for the 7 seed, they know that they have a safety net because they're going to get another home game, right?
19
Okay. So we saw what happened to the Heat last night. We're going to talk about them. It was as shameful an Eric Spoelstra / Pat Riley performance as I can ever remember for their team. But in this case, the Lakers probably didn't take the T-Wolves quite seriously enough until they just flat out had to in the fourth quarter and overtime. Biggest picture. Your team won last night because I believe it has turned into just maybe the best defensive team in all of basketball. I know Milwaukee plays at an extremely high level, in large part because of Giannis. Drew Holiday's good at perimeter. Okay, we get that.
Right.
I know that Boston, they may not be quite what they were last year, but they're still a top 5 defense.
Absolutely.
You could even say a top 3 defense.
Yes.
But all of a sudden, very quietly, off radar, your Lakers can play suffocating a defense. And in the fourth quarter and overtime, they just flat out locked down and shut down the T-Wolves, despite all that talent that they had, despite all the shooting. If I look at the numbers just over the final 6 minutes of the fourth quarter and overtime, look at this. The T-Wolves went 2 of 16. They went 0 of 9 from 3. They turned it over 6 times because they were getting turned over by the Lakers.
Right.
So the reason I'm slightly encouraged is because when you can defend at that high a level, Shannon, you can go places with that.
Yeah.
Because it will travel. You can take your defense on the road to Memphis for that game 1 that we're going to talk about in just a couple of minutes here on Sunday at Memphis. Your defense will go with you, and it will serve you well at Memphis. All right. Now, what's the bigger picture here? You got a huge break last night because a former number 1 overall pick named Ant-Man, as in Anthony Edwards, he shot 3 of 17 last night. He was 0 of 9 from 3. Yeah, they were hot-handed for the most part.
But he wasn't.
Well, what if he makes 2 or 3 threes? Could you be in big trouble facing a Friday night, game for a do-or-die game? And I'm sure you could be. He did give you 8 rebounds. He did block 3 shots. So they all played hard, and they played very well, and they hung in. But now we get to the bigger picture here. You did win the fourth quarter 19-12. The T-Wolves scored 12 points. You did win.
You should have had only 9.
Okay, well, you could argue that because of AD's, as LeBron called it, a brain fart. And it was a brain fart. Okay.
Well, he should have learned. Didn't he learn against the Mavericks? You remember what he did?
He did the same thing. Okay, listen, AD, we know he drifts sort of emotionally, but he drifts psychologically. His mind just wanders. I don't know. Sometimes I think he forgets where he is.
Yes.
He forgets how to play. He forgets the rules of the road.
Skip, how many times you see him run that exact same play?
It's
the
just,
backside out of bounds, they throw it clear cross court to the other side.
I've seen it. I
What
saw
you guarding the
Matt
paint?
Ryan do it for your Lakers. Isn't that his name?
Yes.
The guy who's now on the T-Wolves.
Yeah. So I'm asking AD, why are you guarding the paint? They're down 3. Ain't nobody coming in the paint. Ain't nobody going to lay it up.
I think the Spurs invented that play because once upon a time, Duncan threw it all the way across the court to Ginobili, who beat Golden State before they were Golden State.
And remember, they tried to do that to Danny Green, and Chris Bosh blocked it.
He blocked it. Okay. So I give you all that. You did barely win the fourth quarter and overtime, mainly because they scored a grand total of 16 points in the fourth quarter and overtime.
Yep.
All right. So now I get to the guts of what happened last night. LeBron has been playing at a supremely high level. For 3 quarters, he played at a supremely high level. We're going to give him a letter grade later. I would give him a very high letter grade for the first 3 quarters. I'm going to give him a very low letter grade for the fourth and overtime, especially the last 6 minutes of regulation and overtime. Because if you want to argue he ran out of gas, you can argue that. I can't. It's like your injury rule. If you're out there, I just got to grade you as an all-time great player who's out there in a game that is very important. It is a playoff for the playoff game.
Right.
And you did pull it out, but it was really in spite of what LeBron did, because if we could roll his tape, this is just what LeBron did. I'm going to give you one great thing that he did, but everything else was not very good, because we start out with he misses a little inside shot with 4:21 left. They're still down 5. This is LeBron.
Well, he was trying to throw a lob to AD.
I don't even know what it was, but that's the shot he missed, and it got half blocked. I don't know what happened. And then here we go again. This is a turnover, bad turnover at 3:49. And then we've got another miss.
He turned that over, yep.
Yeah, he turned that over. Then we got another missed shot right here. He tried to go glass and shot a little too hard. Then I'm going to give you this. At 2:02, he made one big shot all night, really, and it's the only 3 points he scored in the fourth quarter and overtime. He made a 3 to tie the game. Give you that. Then he heat checked and came right back down and said, okay, I'm going to do it again. Yeah, and I'm going to miss long, okay? And then he comes down with another just unsightly turnover. It's just terrible. It's just careless, like it's Westbrookian. What are you doing? And then we come back down.
That's on him, because he got to keep coming to the ball.
Okay, and that's a clear path foul to me. I was surprised they didn't call it as a clear path.
Had he not hit the ball first, they would have.
Now we're down to the last play that he passes to Schroeder. We'll get back to that in just a second. And then we got now we're in overtime, and he's got the 17-foot step back, and he misses that one. That was to go up 5. And then we got one more bad pass that's bad pass turnover by him that leads to the Prince 3. That was to tie the game. That was the flashpoint of the game to me that led to the 2 Schroeder free throws that iced it. Okay. All right. Now let's go back to the fateful play. This is our classic conflict that we have talked about for years and years. It's LeBron saying, I'm going to play the right way. I'm going to make the correct basketball play. Yeah. I'm going to trust my teammate.
Yeah.
Okay. This, to me, is the classic difference between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. You couldn't make it any more different, because LeBron is still, to me, the best passer in basketball. I honor that. I bring it up. Okay. I tweet about it. So he drives on Karl Anthony, and it's just those two, mano a mano in the lane. Remember, Cat's got 5 fouls at that point. You could foul him out. You could just go body to body. You could go 6'9". He's 6'11"-ish, I think. I don't think he's quite 7 feet. You could just go up strong against him, and at the very worst, I believe you'll get fouled, because they're going to give you that call at the crypt on national TV. They're going to give the guy you called the GOAT, the greatest scorer in the history of the league, they're going to give him that call. Jordan just says, get out of my damn way. I'm going to stick this. I'm going to dunk your head in the basket.
Well, he didn't do that when he passed to Steve Kerr.
Okay. All right. But that play was called on the side.
So this play wasn't called?
I don't think that was called.
How do you know?
Well, I can just tell.
How?
Okay. You saw how it started at the top with Schroeder giving it to LeBron, and he thought LeBron was going to go. And he just drifts clear to the far corner.
So why did he go to the corner?
And help me out. What is Mike Conley doing? High IQ Mike Conley. He drifts into the lane like he's going to block LeBron's shot. I'm saying, what are you doing? What? Because who is the clutchest closer for your Lakers? Who has been all year long? Who has made